Welcome everybody to the nav station. Yes, this is where it all happens on the boat. All right, we're gonna go through some of the clutch and crucial equipment that we keep aboard Mighty Sparrow when we're out at sea for navigation, and some of it's old school, so it might be a little controversial. Whoa, let's see. All right, first and foremost, you gotta have a comfy chair. I got this beauty right here. Oh, look at that. It is absolutely stunning. It rotates. I can turn it around, face the nav station, and that's absolutely clutch. But usually out at sea, I'm just leaning this way, and that does allow me to flip right over and then go ahead and just do my nav work. Whew, right there. Now, as far as equipment goes, obviously we've got our paper chart. We do have VHF, and then we've got AIS, and those two are typically on almost all the time. VHF when I'm offshore, way out there, that one usually turns off unless there's traffic around. Got my logbooks there, and then I'm gonna have my dividers and a parallel, because I'm always marking down my position on these charts. It's absolutely crucial, not only for just navigation standpoint, but also for the memory bank, because you know, all of us are going to get old. We're not going to remember all of our trips, our voyages, and this sort of stuff allows me to have a record of what I did out there. All right, this is the clutch moment here. This sweet baby only comes out of the box when the weather is perfect and when I'm feeling it. Accordance to, you know, having a sextant, you also do at bare minimum need the nautical almanac. And look at that, 2023. That's a long Sparrow's been on the hard. Embarrassing. Hoping to change that pretty soon. But yeah, it's definitely worth having one of these. I lose all my electronics 1,000 miles from land. Still getting home, no problem. All right, side note stuff. I have a nice, beautiful fan right there, which will pump the old fresh air when I'm in the doldrums. It's 95 degrees down here, and I'm not feeling all that great about plotting my position on a chart. Next up, I have an inverter underneath there, so that's always good to have. But as far as the sort of nautical knowledge, you can see that selection. You can pause the video if you want to check it all out, but essentially some of the crucials, obviously the Kretsch coming in first with sailing a serious ocean, and then I've got some onboard weather, world cruising routes, the nautical almanac, book of knots. I don't really use that. Heavy weather sailing, obviously you got to have that. And then World Cruising Handbook. So those all often come in very handy. This is the last and probably one of the most crucial pieces of kit that I always have in my nav station, and that is the logbook. I typically fill these out every 6 hours, and this is just one of many, but I have a full detailed description of everything that goes on every single one of my voyages that I've ever been on, and that's something I'm going to look back on and be pretty glad I had, and I kept a very diligent hand at. So there you have it. There's the nav station aboard Mighty Sparrow. It's not super complicated. It's pretty simple, actually. It does take a constant bit of management and a bit of motivation to keep up on some of these old school sort of techniques, but in the end it's a heck of a lot more interesting to look at than some logbook on, I don't know, just some track on Navionics or something like that. You have actual physical descriptions of your voyages and the emotions and ups and downs that you go through. So I think this is definitely valid as far as a safety feature, but more than anything, it's a great way to keep a record of a good voyage. And when you're offshore, typically you have a lot of time on your hands, so it's nice to fill that with a little bit of activity. And whether it's just charts or throwing in the celestial navigation, definitely the logbook I would recommend amongst all of these things. I find that it can be pretty fun, and it adds to the idea of an ocean adventure. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and maybe before you go out, you grab yourself a logbook. Thanks for watching.